Hey, how are you doing? My name is Grinch. If you hate yourself, you're in the right place. We're on episode 6 of the Stanley Parable. Let's get into the video. If you like the video, like it. If you don't, no scout off my nose. I do this for fun.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
So be it. Huh?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Where am I?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Hmm. Credits. What is this place? Doesn't actually work.
Stanley pushed the orange lever.
Kevin
Stanley
Brighting,
pushed
the
the
voice
big red
narrator.
button.
Recording dialogue for the entire game, roughly 3 separate times over
Now
the
look
2
closer,
years of
Stanley.
development.
See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake.
Where were
It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively.
Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing.
But of course,
Does that sound
you
plausible
being
to
you,
you?
you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it.
Stanley
Here,
walked over
I'm
the
just going to
bushes.
make this easy on you. Stanley pushed the number 6. Stanley pushed the big red button. And finally, he pushed the number 6. Still nothing? I don't know. Well, in that case, I'll tell you what. You win. Congratulations. You did it. I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. What do we do now? Stanley? I don't... Stanley, where are you right now?
Now then, this
Where am I?
for sure
I'm,
would get him
I'm
right
trying to
back
figure
on
out, but I can't... Stanley, who am I? Can you speak to me? Please talk.
Have we done this before? Have we been in this room before? How many times have we done this? How many times have I said these exact words? Say something. Anything. Help me, Stanley. I don't know who I... What I... Stanley, help. Don't.
Then he pushed the number 4. Stanley stood on the roof. And finally, he pushed the number 9.
I think that was the actual narrator trying to slip out. Because he's stuck in the other reality while I'm here. Scenes from the Dome of the boss's office. Yeah. The one that we got is probably the better of them. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. Shortly after starting to build it, that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of all the people who like shooters, which is not our intention. No, I think if you did that, that would have been honestly pretty fucking funny. I think you probably should have done it. Yeah, you probably should have done it. That would have been hilarious. So, so you added a bunch of shit. Got it. You spring money everywhere. Are you gay? Oh, there's some emails. Ain't that nice? The lounge. You see, having a bigger couch would have been nicer. Apartment timer. Previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending. A timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to the different ending. Huh. Not picking up the phone. I might have to try that next. Different versions. First three versions of the office. Countdown. Countdown disk. Freedom ending. Do it again. Ending model. The main iteration system represents the fourth version of the ending, and we thought it was complete but decided to abandon and change it again before the launch. Screenshot depicts the early version of ending known as his ending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Why? Ending levers. These levers were originally part of this ending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color we had pulled. Trailers. Ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one released in 2012. Features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing viewers that he is repairing a new version of the same repairable. Well, can I get sound? Well, lucky if you're not gonna give me sound. Time to go.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Death.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Means you're an
decided to go to
asshole,
the
dude.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm good.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
Meh.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired
I'm gonna
years
try
ago.
seeing if I can get a different ending with that phone, man.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just
win!
unplug the phone? No, that
I
wasn't supposed to be a
win!
choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music
You
comes
lying
in,
sack of
fade to
shit.
white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. you're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
I hate you.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction.
Ew.
But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Duke Nukem Forever graphics.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality. Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alright. You dick.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
This is not his office.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115. Night Shark 115.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115.
I did.
He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
I just did. Night Shark 115. Here,
I'm
Dick.
sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
This is on you, not me, man.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Try it one more time for you.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright. I'm gonna speedrun this shit. You can't fuck it up this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh, crap.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work.
Why? Your work.
For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know.
Probably.
What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.